Yeah.
Greetings everyone, my name is Xolisa Ncenge and welcome to Dizzy World. Let me take this opportunity to thank all those who are subscribing and supporting the channel. Much appreciated. Salute. Now, I want you to sit back, get comfortable, and pay attention, because I am about to walk you through a story that perhaps you heard it before, but not this version. This version is so wild, it's so flooded with absurdity, among other things. Maybe you may want to, perhaps you are going to need time to process it. And this story is about President Donald Trump, who has a new fixation now. Forget about him bragging about his high IQ, or building a wall, or making Palestine a Riviera of the Middle East. Forget about that. There is nothing compares to his new obsession now, which is South Africa's domestic affairs and its pro-right-wing fringe groups who have been holding secret meetings with his administration. And I'm sure not so long ago we saw his administration welcoming or receiving about 49 Afrikaners, giving them a so-called refugee status in the US. And we all saw as well the bullying of our president, Cyril Ramaphosa, in the White House. And what happened there in that White House reminded me of President Trump's former Foreign Secretary and the CIA Director, Mike Pompeo, bragging about how they were trained, undergoing the entire course on how to lie, cheat, and steal, and how that reminded him about the glory of the American experiment. That is how they destabilizing other countries. To them is a glory of the American experiment. And the last time I checked, President Trump was not a seasoned politician. He is a businessman. So I don't know where he was trained for fake news. And for a while, I thought he hates fake news, until recently, when he attacked President Ramaphosa with a series of contested fake news about the killing of white farmers in South Africa. And good people, please let us not forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, because it really helps. As we all witnessed that at first their meeting was warm and light-hearted, quickly changed tone as Trump asked his staff to play videos, to play a video showing what he called South African politicians calling for violence against white farmers, something that was not true. President Trump also played a footage showing rows of crosses, which he claimed were burial sites for murdered white farmers, and presented President Ramaphosa with copies of articles which he said documented widespread brutality against South Africa's white minority. And I think this is the same playbook that is used when they are trying to push a particular agenda. Remember the non-existent weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, Uyghurs, genocide in China, destruction of Libya and other countries, etc. And now, my take. Since we are not beggars, we are not going to be bullied rhetoric by President Cyril Ramaphosa here at home. I think we were expecting some assertive pushback on the part of our president and no longer be pawns in someone else's games. Because for decades, African nations have been calling for partnerships based on equality rather than dominance. And there were mixed feelings around the world about what happened in the Oval Office. Some people saw class and diplomacy in President Ramaphosa, but others saw desperation and humiliation. Yes, I understand the president said they went there to reset the relationship, but we didn't like to see our president looking desperate, begging, and being treated like a servant on camera in front of everyone, in front of the whole world. But what I like about this is that President Trump has been fact-checked and found lying about everything. The DRC Red Cross pictures, the videos, etc. And even Americans are even embarrassed about his lying and foolishness. Now, about South Africa's delegation, ministers, business people, labor, and golfers who threw us under the bus. Some asking Elon Musk Musk's Starlink to come to South Africa. That Starlink, how Starlink has a reach to all corners of South Africa, including police stations. The same Elon Musk who has been lying about white genocide and disrespecting our country and our laws, now he must come to South Africa. Now I ask myself, who is going to benefit from this deal? Is it us or the oligarchs? And now immediately after Washington trip, we hear now that the Minister of Communications and Digital Technologies, Soli Malatsi, wants to ban our laws in order to bring Starlink to the country without the 30% BEE, without the 30% triple BEE requirement, only for one man, Elon Musk, and his billionaire friends. Now I ask myself, if Washington is not happy with China operating TikTok in the US, citing national security issues. What about us? And what is worse about our situation is that the man who is going to be responsible for collecting and handling our data is the same man who manipulated his artificial intelligence chatbot Grok about white genocide, switched off Starlink in Ukraine, and threatened removing services in Sudan, etc. So how can we trust such a person to collect and handle our data? And what I like about the whole white genocide lies is that the proudly South Africans, black and white, have debunked everything. Recently I saw Dan Corder destroying Ernst Roots' targeting and killing of white people and his 142 race laws lie in South Africa, which he peddled with his fringe right-wing AfriForum and Solidarity comrades on Piers Morgan's show. And President Ramaphosa has also found his voice again after the White House ambush, where back home now he gave a lecture in Parliament about the history of the Triple BEE and how Afrikaners also benefited, or how they were lifted out of poverty using a similar policies or same policies, something he should have done in the White House. But what gives me hope is that at least coming together of black and white South Africans against lies, at least that gave me hope that one day we will unite, as one country of different colors, but one people. And good people, this is how we come to the end of today's episode. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next video. Cheers.